Hello guys, welcome to What the Click episode number 62. My name is Adam Lobo.
And I'm Vernon, glad to be back.
And my name is also Adam.
So that's a very interesting thing because this time around we have a very special person. But just before that, just to give you context. Now Xiaomi has been in Malaysia for over 10 years, right? And they've gone from being a brand that sold only 500 ringgit phone, the budget phones, to a phone that comes to a price and a specs that have punched way above their weight per se. And when we usually review a Xiaomi phone in Malaysia, it's always to help you make a purchase decision, whether or not you're watching our review videos on our main channel on Xiaomi phones, POCO phones, Redmi phones, and everything Xiaomi in general. Now, speaking of which, first and foremost, just to let you all know that What the Click is a brand new YouTube channel, so do subscribe in case you guys haven't done so. This is going to be a dedicated podcast channel, but we do have our main channel, Adam Lobo TV. If you're not subscribed over there, you can hit over there. But of course, subscribe to both channels as we are giving you the reviews on there, and then we'll be having the podcast over here. For today, we're going to try something different because with us we have Adam Farid, who is the PR manager for Xiaomi. And just to give you all context, this is not a promotional video to that Xiaomi came and approached us and said that, hey, can you feature me in our channel? We literally dragged Adam in this podcast because we're going to drill him with some questions. So this is definitely going to be an episode that all of y'all are definitely not going to miss or should not miss per se. So Adam, welcome to the channel.
Thank you. I'm kind of a bit worried now.
Yes. Because the title of this episode is that we asked Xiaomi Malaysia the questions that they didn't want answered. So when we go for events, and Vernon's been for tons of events, you know how whenever we ask questions and then half of the time, not you are fine, but certain brands like to say, we'll get back to you on the answer. So for this particular podcast, you cannot say such thing.
You cannot.
You just have to come up with the answer. And if you guys are with us, let us know in the comment section below. So yes, I believe we do have a very interesting segment where we'll be talking about Xiaomi as a whole. So I believe we also known you for a very long time in the industry as well. So Vernon has one of the very interesting questions because he know you before you entered Xiaomi as a PR manager. So yes, Abang, go ahead and ask.
I think the important question is how do you end up in this chaotic world of PR and marketing in the tech industry?
That's a very interesting question. I was not expecting. I think how I ended up here. So before this, I was in a PR agency. Mm-hmm. And one of the clients' handle was in tech. Vernon should be familiar since we met up back then quite often, which was for a laptop brand, Acer. Yes. So I think after that, I got really involved in the tech industry. I've always been, I wouldn't say a super tech geek, but I've always been interested in tech. I'm a gamer at heart. So back then, handling Acer and Predator was a lot of fun, especially the Predator brand since I'm a gamer, right? And how I ended up in the mobile phone market, an opportunity came, took it, and sometimes I wonder if I'm supposed to still be, if I make the right choice. Because I mean, you think about it, right? Compared to laptops, where you have a lifetime cycle of about a year, maybe 6 months of it being relevant.
Sure.
I'm launching a phone every other 2-3 months.
Yeah, so that also segues to probably one of our first questions, which is not even in this list. So what do you have to say towards people who are complaining about the fact that phones are being released too early? It came out straight from your mouth saying about how you have to release a phone every 2-3 months. So there are some brands where, you know, they release version 5 and then they release version 6. It happened to POCO before, right? So what do you, like the F series, remember how the F8 and the F7
came out in
the same year?
Yes.
So people scold me like as though it's my fault, but it's not. So we should scold Adam and team. But yeah, what do you have to say when the higher ups on Xiaomi comes up with those kind of decisions? And what is their justification for situations like that?
Okay, so let's take POCO F7 and F8 as an example from last year, right? So when F7 came out, which was around March or April, I can't Around that
We went to
timing,
Singapore
we were in
together.
Singapore, yes.
Yeah.
Back then, it came up with the latest Snapdragon chipset, which
Yep.
was Snapdragon, not the current one, but the
Yeah.
one generation before.
Yes.
But when F8 came out last year, which was late last year, around late November, if I'm
Yeah,
not
it was
wrong.
November.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was also when the new Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 came out.
All right.
So the reason why it came out earlier is because we were one of the first mobile phones to actually come out globally in the market, to have that chipset available. Plus, we also wanted to shout out that we partnered with Bose.
Right.
Yeah.
Both, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably also something you can ask. I like how the questions are not what we put here.
No, it's absolutely nothing to do with.
Okay, so that means in a whole idea is that you came out at F7 and then the Bose partnership came about and you said, you know what, I need to release it as soon as possible. Is that the reason why that the whole team came up with some decision like that?
Not really, but more on the fact that we wanted to, because Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 came out, right?
It was available. The
Yes,
tech
it was already
available.
It was already
and-
available, and Xiaomi has always been one of the brand that would always have the chipset available.
Yep.
Just like during Snapdragon Summit, Xiaomi will always be one of the first phone.
Yes.
So since we already had the tech available,
Yes, it's always been a case. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. Xiaomi has always been one of the first ones to, so that's why I'm excited for the Snapdragon Summit this year, because we will always know that Xiaomi is always the first phone to always have the first Snapdragon chipset. So yeah.
Basically, since we already had tech available, we wanted to be the one of the first phones available to have that, because mobile gaming as an industry has been going up higher and higher, because our phones can do whatever we want to do now, right? Speaking besides just productivity and photography, gaming is also something that a lot of people enjoy, especially since it's easily on the go. And I think if we're going to be talking a bit more on the Bose partnership,
Yes.
it's the fact that a lot of times, like when it comes to gaming, it's always about fast frame rate, touch sampling rate, whether the chipset can handle the powerful gaming, but we always ignore the fact that audio is actually important
Yeah,
when it comes to
especially
gaming.
two audio guys
Yeah,
here.
yeah, audio files. So,
Yeah.
So
and we were pretty blown away with
we
the
were.
F8 Ultra.
And while everybody is trying to copy each other, the fact that Xiaomi, or for this case, POCO, came up with a feature which you would think it's a novelty, but it's not. Because I remember in our review, I mentioned that when my son was very young, that was my white noise speaker and my baby song speaker for Mikhail when he was so much younger, when I'm changing his diaper to calm him down. But I want you to tell the audience and to run through your experience from a PR perspective, right? Because we never spoke to any PR person. Like, how was your response, you as Adam Farid representing PR Xiaomi Malaysia, when you sat down? So they briefed you and said, okay, here is the brief, Adam, that the Xiaomi F8 Ultra is going to have a Bose speaker. What was your exact reaction from a Xiaomi perspective and also from a user perspective?
Okay, so from a brand perspective, I would be something that I would say currently in the mobile phone market, it's innovative.
Totally
Because
agree.
I would say audio has always been secondary a lot of times. And for a phone brand that always have been focusing on performance, has always been about gaming and centric,
It
right?
started its journey as a gaming kind of
yes,
phone, right?
Correct. Right now, it's a bit more diverse to cater to more people's needs. But going back to the topic, its sound has always been very important, especially when it comes to games.
Yep.
I play a lot of games, and
Yep.
the best games are the ones with the best soundtrack. So imagine you're playing your favorite games, whether it be Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Wuthering Waves, right? The soundtrack is always what keeps you remember or coming back to it.
Yeah.
And hence why when I saw it as a brand perspective, it's a very interesting thing to market, because it's no longer just about design. It's no longer just about the latest chipset, because when you launch a phone, you always come with a latest chipset when it comes to flagship.
Yeah.
But this time we get to talk about something that no one really ever focuses on. So it's a very fun topic.
So one of the things that we did in our review is to literally compare side by side with the iPhone, the POCO F8 Ultra, and the Samsung Galaxy flagship. And it's quite interesting because when Lee Hood shot the entire audio test, because we do have a binaural microphone when we shoot. So whenever we do an audio test, like when we do reviews for earbuds, for headphones, we have those with the ears, which is downstairs. You can see later.
Okay.
So we did a binaural audio test on all of the phones, and we were shocked at how thin the iPhone and the Samsung was compared to the F8 Ultra. So
It just sounds so much fuller.
exactly. And so from a brand's perspective, you knew that this was one of the biggest strength to market. But as a user, like who games a lot, how did it really impact you?
I was really excited.
Right?
I mean, okay. Let's say way before I joined Xiaomi, way before I was in PR. This was back when I was in the radio industry. One of my favorite phone I've enjoyed using, even to today I still remember it, is the HTC One M7.
Oh, yes.
Wait,
Of
wait,
course,
it was
HTC,
audio.
HTC had very good audio.
Correct.
Yeah.
Front-facing
Yes,
speakers.
Yes,
front-facing
front-facing
so-
speakers is the best
Which
in the world.
which nobody else did, right?
Yes.
Pixel 2 XL did it.
And then we
Yeah,
don't
then
get it
after they
nowadays.
stopped.
Yeah, and then it was
Yeah.
audio by Dr. Dre. So I was like,
Yeah.
Beats by Dr. Dre.
Beats,
Sorry.
yeah,
So I was like mind blown. I got it. I loved it.
Yeah.
And then now when the F8 Ultra or the F8 in general, right, came with the Bose sound system, I was like, this brings me back memories because
Yeah.
back then I was blasting music on it. I was gaming on it. Going out like back then when it was. I was a lot younger. You can hang out with friends. Sometimes just
Yeah.
outside their house, having coffee or something. You just put the phone there just to play music. So it kind of brings back a lot of memories. It was really fun.
It was good. So, as you know, the F series has a very good trickling down from the K series, right? So, unfortunately for all of us, we knew that a Bose was coming on the F series. So, what do you have to say from a user's perspective, and again from a brand's perspective? Because like we saw it coming, but we didn't know because sometimes, we will always second guess, is this phone coming to Malaysia kind of thing. So
Definitely
what are your
not as
thoughts
a
about
K
that,
series,
right?
yeah.
When you get briefed, right? Is that going to be something that has always been the case, or you do see that maybe the global version is going to not take any cues from the K series from China, for example?
Okay, so from
Hard question.
Hard questions. Yeah.
Again, the questions are not here.
It's not. We haven't even started on question one.
Yeah.
so-
I'm already second guessing why I'm here. But anyway, okay. So essentially, because in China, we don't have a POCO. So
Correct,
the K
yeah.
series in general is basically. Actually, I hope I'm allowed to say
It's like a JDM, right? It's like a
in a-
JDM
in-
car. Right?
in
It's
a-
only
in a way, yes.
domestic market.
Correct.
kind
So
of brand.
POCO has always been just for the global markets. It's never available in China. China has the K series.
Yeah.
Obviously, there will be some differences in specs, but that's also because phones in China are catered based on China's certifications and stuff like that.
Lovely.
Compared to global, which I already know what's the next question's coming.
No, I think we will stick to the plan. I have maybe just 2 more questions
Yeah.
to ask, then we'll stick to the plan. Because I've been asking a lot of questions, but Abang got lots of questions
No,
to
that's
ask you.
fine.
Yeah,
That's fine. This
so
is good.
Essentially, while there are a lot of very innovative phones in Xiaomi side over in China that pretty sure someone would be asking why this phone never came.
Yeah.
Um,
That is coming later.
I guess so. Essentially, it's also when it comes to global, it's also based on a lot of studies whether it's actually something that the global audiences would like.
Yeah.
Would it be something of a hit? So obviously, we know that the F8 Ultra is a hit because I can say safely in Malaysia that it did really well.
Yeah, the F series specifically on POCO. Now, 2 questions I'm going to ask you very quickly before Vernon actually has the proper questions to ask, because I'm coming from a perspective of the audience, right? Because I need to be there with the audience. For our audience, usually they already kind of know and they can differentiate between what is a POCO, what is a Redmi, what is a Xiaomi, right?
Yes.
So for a person who is a non-techie person, how would you easily describe what are the difference between these 3 brands under the Xiaomi umbrella?
Oh, okay. Actually, that's pretty easy.
Yeah, so that's why I said, yeah,
Correct.
it is definitely
I would
needed.
say Xiaomi would be where all our top of the line flagship devices are. It's also the only phones that comes co-engineered with Leica, if you notice,
Yeah.
which are the number series, which is the Xiaomi 17 and the 17 Ultra. Or
That was
the-
pretty deliberate when you guys changed to Mi, right?
yeah. From
Changed to the Mi series.
Correct.
Because that would be like the flagship and we Leica and all that
yes,
stuff.
correct. On the other hand, Redmi would be a bit more on the, I would say, wallet friendly.
Okay.
But it still comes with the main essentials, because from the Redmi you have the Note series, you have the Redmi 15, for example. You also have like the 15C.
Yes,
and all
correct.
this. So it's a different level where you have phones starting from like 399 ringgit all the way up to the top of the line Note series, which is Note 15 Pro Plus 5G.
I know, bro. Imagine me seeing that on a video.
That was me on
Oh,
stage.
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's you on
This is
stage.
good.
Yeah, even funnier. So every time when we have to do reviews on the Redmi Pro Plus 5G, I make so many mistakes in the video, and Lihu that unfortunately really always have to edit it apart out. So yeah.
Correct.
So Redmi
I think there
is
should be a
wallet.
time where we don't have to mention 5G.
Mainly because there's actually options where it's without 5G.
Right.
It comes
Yes.
with 4G.
Even in Malaysia? Or
Yeah.
Malaysia,
4G?
yes,
Yeah.
but only the base model, which
So
is
the base model is 4G, abang, and then the 5G variant. Just to
I'm
make
saying,
it. Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
just saying the base model should be 5G and you don't have to mention it.
Very good
We know
point.
It's 5G.
Okay, so you'll be surprised. There are people who actually don't want
5G.
or don't need 4G.
I don't think you can run
Oh,
away
sorry,
from
5G,
5G.
yeah.
Yes.
You can't run away from
You
it.
can't run away for
Yeah.
it, but basically, I would say reason why we have this is to also give our consumers the options to choose what they actually want.
Yeah.
So if they don't need the top of the line specs, they actually also realize maybe in their area they can't really get good 5G signal. They can just get the 4G. So because, but I do
Makes
hope
sense.
Malaysia will have 100% 5G coverage. Cause
Coming soon.
yes, but yeah. So even the top of the line Redmi Note 15 Pro Plus 5G, it's still below 2,000 ringgit.
Fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that very clearly. Then POCO, what is the position for POCO there?
POCO would be more performance centric. Like even if you see the design, it's a bit more futuristic style.
Yeah.
We also get to have a bit more fun. Like for example, in terms of partnership, where we did with the Iron Man edition.
So that means this partnership is something that you see which is reserved for POCO specifically. Because I did see like even now with the Iron Man with the F8 Pro, so
X8.
the X8 Pro. So what happens is that these partnerships are not going to be touched on the Redmi or even the Xiaomi, because POCO is the dedicated brand for collaborations like that. Is that what you can safely
I would say Iron Man, yes, because for POCO it's a bit more gaming centric,
Got it.
or people who really focus on performance.
Okay.
Hence why most times the camera is not as great as the
Yeah.
Xiaomi.
Yeah. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, POCO always started as this gaming challenger brand, right? I feel the trend has changed in terms of gaming phones.
Yes.
People don't really want a dedicated gaming phone
Correct.
anymore, which is why you see like even the design it becomes a bit more dedicated. I mean, a little bit more understated.
Yes.
There's less cutting edge in
Yes.
terms of a purebred kind of gaming phone.
Correct. You
anymore.
don't get like the whole like neon light.
Yeah, that
Even
has
though
kind
we
of
Put it in
tapered
the
down.
camera.
I mean, see what happened to Asus, for example.
Yeah, it's
right?
true. I think
But
it's
even
the same with laptops
they
as
also started off with your very gamey phone.
No, the
But the
ROG.
latest ROG phone looked like almost like a
Very
regular
understated.
phone. Very understated. So, in a very quick nutshell, you would tell the audience that the Redmi would be a wallet friendly. Xiaomi is the top of the line, Leica co-engineered, and the POCO would be the gamer / performance based.
Yes,
But if you said the performance, then are you also indirectly saying is that, the Xiaomi is not going to have the same performance, or you would still say that the Xiaomi series is still the best of everything?
I would say the best of everything, because
Got
in
it.
the end, the chipset, like for example, the 17 Ultra and the Xiaomi 17 comes with the Snapdragon Elite Gen 5. So you can still game on it. It's really good. Xiaomi 17T, for example, the Pro comes with Dimensity 9500.
Yeah.
Hence why we launched it earlier.
Yeah.
Compared
Okay.
to
We
last
were
year.
going to get to that question.
That is
but
one of
maybe
the
it's a
questions.
good segue
Yeah. Yeah,
to
probably,
the 17T.
Yes. So if you're wondering why it came out early, it's because we wanted to launch it right when Dimensity announced their new chipset.
Right, so you also, it was because of the availability of a new chip.
Correct. And it's also the first T series to come with the latest Dimensity chipset.
Yes, that's one thing we mentioned. But
Because
it seems,
typically, like we mentioned it on our previous podcast, is that the
Yeah.
T came like 4 or 5 months
Yeah.
earlier than before. It used to
Exactly.
be launched in September, so it was
which
a
I
little
used
bit
to
out
bring it. Like I said, I used to bring the T series and sneak it in Apple Park so that I can take some nice California shots and stuff. And this time around, it came in like even before Dub Dub. It's like, holy crap, how is that even possible? And it seems like that's like a trait now that even you say the F7 and the F8 coming out at the same time because of the availability of the chipset.
'Cause you wanna
it's
be
the
first, right?
same point of the T series, which means that, yeah, they want to be first. Because our guess was that, is Xiaomi going to announce something brand new or something along the lines?
That was our suspicions. We thought,
Yeah.
maybe there's another product line that's
Yeah,
going to come out in
correct.
September. I know you cannot comment,
I-
but we're just trying to poke here.
I mean,
The
we're only halfway
possibility
through
of
the year, and
Yeah.
I can say that we do have more things to launch this year. So for those of you watching, stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you know.
That's fantastic.
And talking about launching stuff, there was one question that we also talked about on the podcast, and I brought it up because we know that the 17 Pro and the Pro Max were excellent products. At least
Top
on
selling
paper, they
phone
were
in China.
Top selling phone in China. Super unique design because with the plateau and stuff like that, with the secondary
screen.
display. Why didn't it come to Malaysia? And I don't get it,
Okay.
and I don't see why it didn't come to Malaysia.
Okay.
The Ultra did, but the Pro and the Pro Max didn't.
Okay, so essentially, I'm not sure if you noticed, but since 13, that was the last time we ever brought in the Pro. So when we back in 2023, I believe, it was Xiaomi 13 Pro, and 13 Ultra. But from 2024 onwards, it was only Xiaomi 14 and Xiaomi 14 Ultra, followed by 15, 15 Ultra, 17, 17 Ultra.
Right.
So essentially, it's that-
Tapering the product line, or
because when it comes to back then when we launched 13 Pro, 13 Ultra, a lot of people were considering either the 13 or the 13 Ultra. The Pro wasn't the first consideration, but second, because if you don't need the best camera, you go for 13. But if you need the best of the best, you would go for 13 Ultra. So hence why after that, Pro for the global markets was taken off. I don't think anyone expected the Pro to do so well when China. The thing is, when I saw it, I knew. I mean, this is on the personal opinion
Yes,
side, but I
yeah.
knew it was going to do very well.
Right?
I've
seen people in China use it for so many situations because, I travel to China a lot and I saw especially females because you know how they love to use their front camera
Yes.
and using the rear camera and with having the screen, it was one of the biggest selling feature. So, and yes, I am aware, we are aware, especially when we review and when we went to MWC also, remember when the launch was there. In Malaysia, we didn't have the Pro. So we didn't even talk about the Pro.
Yes.
We talked about the regular and also the Ultra. But because this Pro was special with the screen compared to previous
Exactly.
years.
the thing is, no one expected it to. I would say because.
But you
for the
expected
past-
it as a user, right?
As a user,
And
I
he was-
expected
yeah.
it. But because the Pro hasn't been launched globally for, I would say, 3 years now. So it wasn't, I would say, planned to bring.
okay.
But we never know next year how it is because since the demand for it is really high worldwide,
Got it.
there is a possibility, but we won't know yet.
Right. So that's where I have this argument about the standard and also the Ultra.
Yes.
The choice is quite distinct when you talk about that, because I think in previous iterations of the Pro, there was no Pro Max. It was the Pro. It looked kind of similar with the standard, right? Maybe a little bit bigger.
I would say the screen is bigger.
Yeah, it's bigger.
And the camera is slightly better.
Yeah. So if you take that out of the equation, it's still kind of an very distinct decision whether you want a standard or an Ultra.
Yes.
Very distinct. But then when you have a Pro and the Pro Max, the 17 specifically, because the design is so different,
And the feature is
I
so
feel
much different.
that the consumers are missing out on a very distinct model that they could have purchased in Malaysia.
I know.
Yeah, so I hope that like 18 Pro Max might.
I'm
will
going to
come
ask
Malaysia.
another question based on consumer.
Okay.
So if a consumer who goes to China, they really love the Pro and the Pro Max, and they want to buy the phone, they come to Malaysia, is there any limitations?
There is.
Fantastic. Please let us
Okay,
know.
so for example, the first thing first is that phones that are made in China doesn't have Google installed.
Got it.
Because they don't use Google
They don't
there.
use Google.
Yes, correct.
So when you bring it over here, there is a method for you to get Google on the phone itself.
Okay.
You can actually download it directly from one of the apps in the phone.
Okay.
But you are losing out on a couple of key features. Number one, you cannot use Google Wallet at all.
Okay.
Second thing, Android Auto
Android
doesn't
Auto.
work on because in China they don't use Android Auto or
Yeah.
Google Wallet.
Yeah. Okay.
So those are the two I think main highlights.
Okay.
But other things, depending on how important it is to the customer itself or the user, is that you don't get the warranty in Malaysia. And the parts are different because the thing is, it's different certifications.
Yeah.
So whatever parts China uses, it might not be certified anywhere else in the world because it's only certified in China.
So would you recommend or you would say go at your own risk when it comes for people who wants to buy the phone from there and bring it here
Yes,
in
correct.
Malaysia?
Because essentially there is a reason why China has its own launch, Global has its own launch.
Very good point.
Mainly, if you notice, some certifications on the phone that's on China and the ones that we have here, it's very different. Like they don't have the CE
Yeah.
and
Right.
and all those certifications that global phones have.
That's a very good point. Okay, so that answers your question in case you're wondering whether you should do something like that straight from Xiaomi's mouth himself. It's interesting because it's the similar case for Huawei as well. If you buy a Huawei phone from China and bring it over here, number one, you may have limitation when it comes to 5G because the chip does not support it. Probably in the near future, they might support it. We do not know, but you hear it first in this channel. But yes, Android Auto and Google Wallet. But for me, I'm heavily invested on the Apple ecosystem. So for me, I use Apple Watch for paying and unlocking the door, which Xiaomi can also do the same at this point in time. But it's a very good way for you to actually let everybody know. So yes, for those of you who are wondering if you're going to do that, there are going to be those compromises. But if you feel like you just want to buy a phone for the sake of the cameras and you're maybe not going to use it as your main phone and you don't care about Google, then this is something that for you all to actually consider as well. So that is actually very good. One of the things that, in case you all follow Xiaomi Malaysia, is the fact that Adam and his fellow colleague named Theo has been a sort of a tech influencer for Xiaomi. Not only they're doing PR, but they are also becoming the PR for Xiaomi itself, following the current trend, a feat that no other Malaysian tech brand is doing. So, number one, I want to know whose idea was this? Number two, is this something that you genuinely enjoy? Because I look at your face, I see you're enjoying it.
You
Theo
see
feels
delight, right?
forced. But I want to understand, how did this decision came about? And is this something that you're going to do moving forward?
Okay, so decision came actually, it's not only being done in Malaysia, it's actually being done in a few countries for Xiaomi.
Wow.
So including
had
Thailand.
no idea.
I know. I remember one more country. I can't remember. Is it Italy or Germany?
So the PR manager in Thailand and Italy are doing what you are doing here.
Not specifically the PR manager, but
Somebody
Xiaomi
from
He
the
has to be
representative.
good looking, with charisma.
I would say good.
Handsome like Adam. And has to have a name like Adam.
Can't go wrong with a person named Adam.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
But essentially, what we're doing is because, so for example, on our official social media pages, we want to always maintain professionalism in terms of the content that we show and feel it's always straight to the point. One reason we do this is to also for us to be able, I would say different countries have different styles. For us over here in Malaysia, we want to make it more educational, but in a fun way.
Yeah.
Where it's fun to watch, easy to watch, and hopefully something that you don't get bored of.
Got it.
So ideas also we're allowed to play around a bit more. We get to play around with different maybe trendy videos that we can incorporate to kind of show like how can we make this into a fun video that we can teach how to use certain features of the phone, or to introduce, like, we actually have a new variables or AIoT device, like our smart tag. What does it do? The Xiaomi smart tag.
It's very interesting.
Cool.
So my question is that when you leave Xiaomi, then how?
So essentially, the channel will still continue.
Okay, got it.
Because the whole concept is not about my face. I hope it is.
Yeah, correct.
But essentially to bring content that's fun but educational at the same time.
It is. Although I'm scared as a content creator because they might use their own self as talent and I got no money.
No.
Okay, let's go into the next question. This one is a bit more from a user's perspective. What was the last Xiaomi product that you bought with your own money? Not
I know
a
you
media
carry 3
review.
phones.
Yeah, you carry
You carry
like
3 phones.
30 phones. But which one that you bought?
I can
It
tell you-
doesn't have to be a smartphone. It can be any Xiaomi product which you felt like you bought with your own money, and it was probably the first one ever since you joined Xiaomi. This is not before, like when you joined.
The thing is, I bought quite a number of stuff.
Yeah, what was the best product that you bought?
I think so far to today, the one that I really love the most, I would say 2 things. First is my automatic cat feeder.
Oh yeah.
Cat lover.
Cat lover as well. Yeah.
I love it, especially when I'm traveling. At least I can monitor: is there food on the bowl? What's their eating habits? And at the same time, it comes with the decadent to keep the food fresh.
Right.
So is this for kibbles only, or is it does it have for wet food as well?
Only kibbles.
Yeah.
at
So
the
that is the only reason why I'm not using, because my cat exclusively eats wet food.
My cat's
So
steam.
Xiaomi
I've
needs to
never
come up.
seen a wet food
There
feeder.
is, but
Really?
it's not Xiaomi. There is.
Wow.
Mine's the complete opposite. My cat doesn't eat wet food at all.
Wow.
wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like for me, because my cat is weird, she is allergic to fish, allergic to chicken. What a cat. She
Allergic
only,
to chicken.
chicken, fish, and grains.
So what?
So
what
she
does-
she only eats beef,
Wagyu?
Wow.
not wagyu, beef and lamb,
Are you sure it's a
and
cat?
also non-halal meat.
Oh, wow.
I don't want to mention here. But I'm sure you already
Interesting,
guessed
very
it.
interesting.
Because she needs to eat. Okay, bro, calm down. So yeah,
Very
so-
interesting.
and so there is a product out there which I haven't tested out yet. Because if Xiaomi comes out with it, I have full confidence. I don't trust the other brands. You know, I got this weird name. Bye-bye. They have this thing where you can put it there and then it will rotate to keep it
wow.
fresh.
Oh, I thought that's a cat litter. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no, not a cat later. So, okay. So that you would say is your favorite.
Out of 2.
Okay, what's the second one?
The washer and dryer, Mijia.
Oh, media.
The one I bought last year, the minute it came out, I was one of the first to buy.
Okay.
So if it ran out of stock, too
Why
fast,
did you
I'm
buy
sorry.
it when it's coming to Malaysia? Oh, you had no idea it's going to come to Malaysia. Lah.
No, I knew. The minute it came out in Malaysia, I bought it straight.
Oh.
It came out
Why
last
didn't
year.
you get it for free? You're Xiaomi, bro.
So I like
to put it in that position.
Let's just say that
Support, Chi.
sometimes if you really want something, you should just
I
get
totally
it
agree
yourself.
with you, man. Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's fantastic.
No, I think it's a good segue to what we wanted to talk about. I think we talked briefly, before we went live, was about Xiaomi ecosystem
Yes.
and how I feel Xiaomi is unique and how it operates, where it supports smaller brands within the ecosystem, startups and inventors, stuff like that. Ideas, funding ideas, right? So that's pretty powerful. And do you see this continuing in terms of a Xiaomi strategy, ecosystem it comes?
Definitely, because like our strategic vision that we introduced, I believe late 2023, that we've been talking about is always the human car home strategy, whereby human means our phone, car, obviously car. I'm sure
is
I
our
know
next
what's the next question. And then home is our home.
Yeah.
Because essentially,
Love it.
Your phone is always with you. If you're traveling in between, it's always the car. And then home is where technically, if you're not in the office, it's where you spend the most time next, right? And the whole ecosystem is to actually provide a seamless experience. It's not here yet, but hopefully it will come soon, whereby, for example, in China, if you're driving our EV,
SU7.
yes, you can actually program it for a point whereby if on the way home, right, let's say it connects to your Wi-Fi, or you can schedule it like, because it has maps in it, GPS.
Yeah, the geofencing.
5 km, 10 km away, turn on your automatic curtains,
Right.
turn on your air condition,
Yeah.
your robot vacuum starts moving. We're also trying to incorporate more AI into things. Like this year in MWC, we talked about or showcase a little bit of our AI, whereby we have CCTVs. which is connected to the whole ecosystem. For example, your CCTV on where it's positioned sees there's a spillage or dirt, something. It can automatically trigger the robot to go over there and
Yeah, I
vacuum
saw
it.
that massive. This is how you use AI properly, lah.
Without
Right.
mentioning agentic.
Yes, correct. agentic. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So as
Vernon,
such-
yeah.
I'm not sure if I answered your question, but the whole purpose of an ecosystem is to make everything seamless. Hence why we're also really focusing a lot on smart homes.
Yep.
I think moving forward in the future, smart home is something I believe in and I
Nice.
want to push more.
Lovely.
But it's also something I believe every home should have because we already stress at work. Why need to stress at home, right?
Agree.
That's true. That's
Totally
true.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the ecosystem for Xiaomi, especially the smart home, it was something that when I started YouTube in 2017, I always pushed. Yeah, that's obviously before you were in there, and I'm so glad that it is the way it is now. So before we go into a question where I'm sure Abang have to ask, I want to talk a little more on the ecosystem of things. About 3 to 4 years ago, the ecosystem like the aircon which we're using downstairs, the washing machine, the dryer, all of these things we couldn't even imagine. Like if I were to ask you 2 years ago, because we used to go to China a lot, and I've always asked myself, when is this going to come to Malaysia? And you didn't have an answer. Nobody had an answer. What do you think was the pivotal moment, or when was a pivotal moment that suddenly Xiaomi decides to bring all of these devices here in Malaysia, being one of the very few Asian countries to bring it here? Is this the market demand? Because a lot of people do not even know this. Like when I tell them, do you know it's a Xiaomi fridge? They're like, what? So it's already available. At the same time, they do not know that. So I'm trying to understand what was the decision makers, or who was the decision makers, or what was the deciding factor to say, you know what, I'm going to try to bring in here. What is the process like, and how does that happen?
First of all, I think I need to speak to my marketing team if people still don't know that we have.
Yes. So this is a good platform for you to tell about all of that. Yeah.
Okay, but essentially, I cannot say who made the decisions, but I
Yeah.
would say generally the headquarters made a decision.
Yes.
One thing also, from a personal opinion point of view, when we launched our EV, our brand got way bigger and more well-known worldwide. So it was also the right time to also bring in a lot more innovative products.
Oh, interesting. Got it.
Because in terms of, for example, before we came in, or in general when you're shopping for a home, you always think of a specific aircon brand, a specific refrigerator brand. We are known for robot vacuums and air purifiers and
Yeah.
CCTV, so
Yes,
that one I'm
have
quite
one.
safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it comes to washing machine, you would never think
Yeah.
Xiaomi,
Yeah.
or technically in Malaysia it's called Meteor.
Yeah.
The Meteor brand, yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
So
correct.
our home products are under Meteor. Fun fact: government has a 200 ringgit incentive for 4 to 5 stars.
oh, really? I didn't
They
know
just
that.
launched.
Wow,
The Meteor
fantastic. Yeah,
aircon
we
is
know.
part of it. So if you need aircon,
Good job. That's very nice. Yeah, so of course we do not know who exactly makes the decision, but what I'm asking is that how did that demand came, or what was the decision making process for them to say that I'm going to try? Is it so you are saying that it's because the Xiaomi car was so famous that you decided to bring, but the Xiaomi car is a different segment than the smart home. So I'm trying to understand what made them say, okay, we will bring the aircons and bring the fridge here in Malaysia. Was that something which maybe Malaysian PR, like your marketing team, can request? I'm trying to understand what happens behind the scenes for situations
okay,
like that.
So technically, what I said was just mainly personal opinion because it just
Of
but
course.
generally, it's always based on, I would say, whether the market is ready or not.
Yeah, I was just to mention market readiness, right?
Correct. But also at the same time, when we do bring in, for example, refrigerators, the air conditioners, the washer and dryers, you still have to go through Serum certification
Yes,
and all the other certifications that you need when you bring it to a specific country.
Yep.
So it's always a level of readiness. So you always
Yeah.
take a couple of. It will always be the first time. It will always take the longest.
Yeah.
So it could have been in the plan for a while already,
Could
but it's
be.
just a depend of once it reaches, because we want to get the 5-star rating or the 4-star energy rating.
True.
Speaking of home, you know how you have your own Thermomix version, like the Xiaomi version? How is that doing in terms of sales in Malaysia? Do you have any idea or any indication?
It's okay, but it's no longer available for purchase.
Why?
It's already been a few years since
Right?
it's out.
Yeah.
It's quite a while
It just
already.
came to my brains now because
Yeah.
I kind of remember that it came in like several years ago.
Not
so
something
now
I
it's-
use, but yeah.
yeah.
At the moment, because we no longer bring in the stock now.
Okay, got
I
it.
did have
But was
people
there
asking
like
me.
a demand for it in Malaysia?
Yes, but only if you knew about it, you would get it. You would understand that it's the same as Thermomix, but not even half the price.
Got it. Yeah. So that's why. Okay.
Which is I guess is also something that Xiaomi is very known for, and also segues to the question.
Yes, correct. So as you know, Abang Vernon here is besides being a tech enthusiast, he loves his cars.
Yeah.
And so he have a car question to ask you. So Abang, feel free to do this. Jefferson, you want to cut this part? I mean, bring this part into our short form. This is a perfect place.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
we know about Xiaomi car SU7, and that has really been mind blowing for the automotive industry. Having a supercar SUV, supercar EV,
Yeah.
that's available. He's a fan. I know he's a fan. I'm not a fan of EVs, but he's a fan, and he said if he ever
I'm not
bought,
a fan of EV either, but yes.
if he
yeah.
ever bought an EV, it would be the SU7.
You and me share the same sentiments.
Really?
Because the
Yeah.
only time
So-
I'll buy an EV is honestly.
So
yes.
the question
I
is,
wouldn't buy
I think
otherwise.
you kind of hinted earlier, but the question is, when is there going to be an SU7 in Malaysia, if ever?
Okay.
And
You got summer end, bro. Calm down.
will it be a converter right-hand,
Right-hand
drive
drive.
version?
Okay, so I can tell you what I can tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. it's
First
okay.
of all, it's going to be available in the global market starting next year, starting with Europe.
2027.
Yes, so
That's
we even have
fantastic.
a R&D factory in Germany. Yes, so in 2027, because Germany is, Europe is left-hand drive, so it's easier. So you'll be first there. But what I can say is in 2028, we will start working on a right-hand drive version.
Oh, it's 2028. All right.
To answer your question, when it's coming to Malaysia, that one I cannot have an answer for you at
What
the
about
moment.
other models?
I also cannot answer you at the moment.
Yeah, okay, got it. No, knowing the fact, I think it's a very good news because knowing the fact that there is going to be a global launch, that it already kind of opened doors. But then again, I think like if it's going to be 2 or 3 years time, I'm sure there's going to be a more Ganas, better models that they have.
I mean, definitely.
right?
I'm pretty sure there are other vehicles
Yeah,
that are going to be coming out as
exactly. So,
well. Should be exciting.
so you hear it here first. At least you all know when it's exactly coming out globally.
We're gonna get
Malaysia,
him in
maybe
trouble.
not yet, but that is something that we can actually kind of know as well. Okay, we're going to talk very quickly about the pricing.
Yes.
We're not going to be talking about the global pricing of RAMs and all going. We have a community segment. That one you can feel free to come in later. But there's nothing to do with brands. It's purely based on your opinion. The conversion from yuan to ringgit, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes certain models, eventually when you do the conversion. So brands like Nothing, for example, they always tend to give it cheaper in countries like here in Malaysia compared to the global market. And I do not know why, but they're very thankful for that situation. But there are times whereby certain models from Xiaomi is a little more expensive than the China models. So do you have an answer for that?
I would say, okay, number one is in terms of hardware, there are certain parts that is completely different from China. Because it
The
has
China
to,
variant and the global variant per
Correct.
se. Got it.
So that would come in
makes
different
sense.
costings. Second thing would be logistics and also the additional cost of getting it approved in certifications. I mentioned earlier, like your CE, your FCC.
Okay.
And most importantly, Siri also need to get
betul.
certification for
Yeah,
Malaysia.
correct.
So I know a lot of people, I've seen it online. Why is the battery size here smaller? But
That is EU lah.
Yeah.
That is EU. That one we all know already. We already told our audiences we know about that.
But essentially, it's also because, yes, correct. We follow global standards. So we cannot go above, like, for example, in China, you can have it because, again, certification is completely different in China compared to globally. And different countries also have different certifications as well.
Okay, got it. The next question is going to be based on software. I'm sure you got this a lot.
Actually, before that, I just wanted
There you
to
go.
add
Can.
2 more to that.
Oh, okay. Go about it. 1, 2, 3, go.
The first one has to kind of
My phone.
has to kind of relate back to the pricing thing, because as you know, we're right smack in the middle of the impact of a global memory crisis, and it's impacted a lot of brands. I mean, every single tech brand, obviously.
Yes.
And what can we expect from Xiaomi in terms of pricing strategy, in terms of availability, in terms of product line?
Okay.
And there's a side question to the product line as well, in a little bit. Once
I feel
explained.
once again I'm second guessing.
We're not grilling you here. No, it's not breakfast grill.
It feels like a breakfast grill.
Yeah.
But okay, one thing I can say regarding the global memory crisis, right? I'm actually very happy that the T series came out earlier than usual.
Yeah, man.
Because
There
the
you
Jefferies equity research recently came out that is anticipated that in Q3 RAM prices are going to go up by another 40 to 50%, and in Q4 another 30%.
That's 70% in a year.
Correct. And the only
Holy
time we will
God.
see it go down, and this is based on anticipation from the research they did, it's 2028, and that's only by 20%.
Wow.
So I'm very happy because if you want to buy a phone, honestly, now is the right time before prices go up. Prices has gone up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad to say, we also are severely affected because if component parts goes up higher, we have no choice to increase the price. But we are proud to say that Xiaomi, among all the other smartphone brands in country, is currently has the lowest price increase.
Right.
So, HyperOS. Every time when I used to review a Xiaomi phone way back from 2017 onwards, MIUI was always the thing whereby like everything is good except for MIUI, right? And then there was the A series, Xiaomi's A series, which was using Android One. And
I love that phone.
Oh,
I
loved
still have it.
Yeah. So then
A1
after
and A2.
eventually when HyperOS came about, it was way better, appreciated compared to MIUI. But for me as a tech reviewer, I loved everything about it. But the general consensus of people complaining is the fact that even for us when we review, when we start off the phone for the first time, is the bunch of bloatwares and all the different apps. Now, according to Arun Maini, Mr. Who's the Boss, he did give a proper reasoning why, because this is how the brands make money, because
Offset costs,
Yeah,
right?
offset costs. That's why they can position the price down low. So now that you are here, we would love to hear whether is that the case, or is there any other things that we can tell our audiences on why that is still the case, knowing the fact that it is still like a potong steam thing for people buying a Xiaomi device. Feature-wise, it's still nice. Like, you have like a very nice UI, very customizable, way better than MIUI, but that is the part where it's still like the potong steam factor. So let us know your thoughts about that, buddy.
Okay, so essentially one thing I would say about the pre-installed apps.
But yo, it's not a word that
Pre-installed.
that nice way of choosing words. Wallet friendly, pre-installed apps. All right, Adam.
I got to increase my word dictionary, right?
Yes,
but,
correct.
It's also to make it feel a bit more localized. Because if you're comparing, like, for example, the phones with the ones you buy in China versus the ones you buy here, you see the number of apps on both devices are very, very different that are pre-installed.
Are you saying that there's more in China?
Because
Pre-installed
those are
apps?
all apps that they actually use.
Baidu and all that stuff.
Yeah, correct. So essential apps, like for example, on the pre-installed phones, on the pre-installed apps on our phones, apps that you would use, Shopee, Lazada, Agoda. So it's to make you feel like a lot less when it comes to setting up.
Okay.
In terms of whether it helps with the costing, I can't say anything.
Okay, got it.
But it's also to make it feel like it's a phone that is built for Malaysians. Whether you want to uninstall it, it's entirely up to you because you have the freedom to do that. It's just a bit of a hassle.
Okay. So you don't see that as an issue. You see it as, as a brand, you look at it as something to help the consumers more than a hindrance? In
We
your opinion?
hope it is.
Okay, got it. Okay. So yeah. And I also understand why you cannot comment on the other. That's very good. Now, there are other very interesting questions that Abang Vernon has to go before we go into the community segment. So
Okay, rapid fire question.
All right, let's go.
First one. What is one product that Xiaomi has brought to Malaysia that you feel has completely flopped because the local market didn't get it? Or maybe it wasn't the right timing?
I would say personally, it is a very purely personal opinion. It would be the Xiaomi Mix Flip. It was our first flip phone that we introduced in 2024.
and also you had a full screen.
Yeah.
Right? There was the first one who did it before.
Would you call it a flop though? As in
I would say,
flop in terms of sales, I guess.
yeah.
We had this conversation the last time I asked you. I said that why it didn't do well. It was fine, right? When I held it in China, everything's okay.
Yeah.
But
We
we
literally
did
said it
a
was fine.
reel for that. But yeah, you are totally right. It didn't take off.
I think my comment was that because the market is so saturated with flip phones at one point, like I mean, thanks to also Samsung because
Yeah, but it's
they
only
were
Samsung, man. So
way ahead
Huawei,
of
you
it.
have your whole Google thing. So other than Huawei, it was only Xiaomi.
And I said, and I think I said also maybe the market is just not big enough for just flip phones because there's so much choice. Right?
Correct. There is a possibility, but I would also say this is purely on a personal opinion. It's our first flip phone. So people would want to maybe see maybe the next generation. Is it better? Or see those who actually purchased it and see
Yeah.
what's their experience like.
Okay.
So I would say because it's our first time, so people are a bit more want to play it safe. But it was a huge difference when it comes to our home products.
Yeah.
Air conditioner did so well.
Right?
The washing machine did so well.
The washing machine will be my next purchase also because my
I think
washing
the
machine
ecosystem
currently got
stuff
full
is
of
good.
cat fur already. Cannot help.
Yeah.
So that would be very interesting. So
Yeah.
Xiaomi Mix
Yeah,
Flip.
cool.
Next question.
Next question. What's your favorite Xiaomi device of all time? All time. Huh?
All the time. Washing machine.
It can be 10 years ago. It can be now. It can
Oh, if it's 10, if let's say we're not talking about now,
be, no,
right?
Yeah.
Of all time.
All
for
time.
you. For you.
It will always be the first power bank I got, which is the metal one, the 10,000 mAh that you had to queue online to get
The
it.
slim one.
No, the thick one.
The thick one, I know which
First
one.
power bank.
I've had quite a few generations of,
The silver
and I
one.
still have one which is
Yeah.
20,000.
I know which one you're talking
I
about.
still have
I
it.
don't have
Okay.
a
It
picture.
still
It
works.
still works.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
it takes forever to charge.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, back then
Nice.
it didn't
Yeah.
felt like forever.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Xiaomi
you had
power
to queue
banks
to
was
get it. I remember
Yeah.
because they were one of the first ones to come up with a power bank like that.
And that was my first Xiaomi product.
Oh, fantastic!
Cool.
Okay.
Next tough question.
Okay.
Name one feature on a competitor's device that makes you go, damn, I wish we did it first.
That is tough. I think I would say the ecosystem from Apple.
Specifically?
How they managed to connect everything together so seamlessly. We're currently doing that as well, but I would say in a more open-ended way. Because honestly, the ecosystem, what they did was amazing. I wish we did it as well, but to be fair, they are older than Xiaomi. They've been in the market for a longer time.
But I can argue that the ecosystem is already good. But what do you feel that the ecosystem is lacking compared to Apple, for example? Okay.
Really?
No,
Is that what you're saying? Interconnectivity?
That's one thing. Like you can just. This is something that we only bring in, right? The whole interconnectivity feature. I think with the introduction of HyperOS. So before that, it was a bit more tougher, especially when it comes to connecting to your tablet and phone.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
they already had that for a while, and I wish we did it earlier because we have a whole range of items.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wide.
Correct.
Yeah, repertoire.
But only like last year we managed to like drag your photos from your phone to your tablet or vice versa. You can do it now with Apple devices together with our phone. But yeah, I wish we did it a lot earlier.
Okay.
Nice. Then the final rapid question, Abang.
What's one product you wish Xiaomi would make right now?
That is a lot tougher than the previous question because what does Xiaomi not make?
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. What haven't we thought about? What haven't we? Rockets to Mars.
A Xiaomi ring.
Yes. Smart ring, yes.
Smart ring.
If it's ring, no. I'm wearing a.
Yeah, meaning the smart ring, right?
This got from Xiaomi. Thank you, Xiaomi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's one product you wish Xiaomi would make that they haven't made yet, or are not working on?
See,
Which you cannot comment upon.
Yeah.
the thing is, it might
It's a
not.
trick question, you see.
It might not be in Malaysia, but it's in China, so I'm not sure.
It's
Like,
okay.
I think what I want is a full-blown light system. Because right now, I remember I have the light bulbs, but I also want like other light system because I want to automate everything at home.
It's like a Yeelight, but a Xiaomi version, where
Correct.
you have like a.
But I thought
bunch of
Yeelight
stuff.
has pretty
but
big
Yeelight
portfolio.
Yeelight has a big portfolio, but it's not under the Xiaomi brand specifically.
But it does
Yeelight is still
connect to
separate.
the
correct.
ecosystem. But
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
makes sense.
For me, because of the camera technology, I would love for Xiaomi to have is dedicated like a Xiaomi camera, not a camera phone. You know what I mean?
see, then that would be hard for us to work with. Leica.
No, it'd be better. Because now we have Leica's technology, but Xiaomi's price.
But it could be co-engineered with Leica, right? Yeah.
But it's a camera, which I still feel like, even though you had to tell me that Apple had one last
Yeah,
time. So like for me, imagine a
Quick take.
like dedicated ProRes RAW camera, like a Sigma camera kind of thing.
I don't think it's impossible.
Yeah. I think Xiaomi can definitely
As
do it.
you know, Leica also had cameras which were really Panasonic,
Yes, the Lumix.
right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So why not?
Yeah.
Hopefully. I mean, I'm enjoying photography with my phone.
Yes, I'm sure. We also have the Ultra, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, which our in-depth review after 7 months or 6 months will be coming really soon. So stay tuned for that. Okay. That is the amount of grilling that we did with Adam. So Adam is going to join us with a very interesting community segment. So in case you're watching this for the very first time, every single Tuesday, Vernon will be asking a question on our main channel, which is based on the current tech news or the current happenings that happens in the industry. And then we'll be getting people to vote. And then they'll comment and we will kind of react to it. So for Abang's question on Tuesday is that, no thanks to the global memory crisis, the RAMageddon, the price have skyrocketed. So even if Apple has unable to really come up to a point where they could absorb the price, because every single year, they never increase the price for the iPhone, right? So as a consumer, how would this be when it comes to upgrading or buying a new phone? So the voting is that I don't care. I will buy regardless of the price. Very, very high, too much money, fella.
I wish I can say that for like holidays and my home stuff.
Then the second one is that I'll consider upgrading in 1 to 2 years' time, which is
When things
something that we
stabilizes.
always said, watch first, buy smart in this channel. Another very interesting thing that you could also choose from the list is that I'll buy used or pre-loved. But with scalpers today, good luck. It's like how the Google Fitbit is like 800 ringgit on carousel. So yeah, that's annoyed. Then you have another, which is the highest vote, is that I'll use my current devices until they break. So which means that is it. The highest vote for this is I will use my current devices until they break, which is 54%, followed by I will consider upgrading in 1 to 2 years' time, followed by I will buy pre-use and pre-love, and of course, we do know that our channel does not have a lot of people who got too much money, so that is a good thing.
But that's pretty accurate. Well, the top 5 to 10%.
Exactly.
People.
So with this, we will ask Adam first, since he's our guest. What do you think? What would you vote out of this?
Honestly, it's a very dangerous question for me because before I joined Xiaomi, my phone will always last 4 to 5 years old.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I will use it until it cannot be used anymore.
Yeah.
But as a brand, this is actually an interesting study. But as a personal person who keeps up with the news on the whole RAMageddon and stuff, I would suggest now is the only time to get the phone. If you're waiting till next year,
It's probably going to get worse.
yeah.
Okay, got it. So you are
So buy
saying
now.
that buy use or pre-love, or I don't care, I'll buy regardless of the price.
Well, the last one actually.
Okay.
I'll wait until my phone breaks.
Okay, got it. How about you? How about you, Abang?
I don't upgrade every year. So I think 1 to 2 years time probably makes sense, although that's not the exact answer. I think it's a combination of 2 and 3.
Got it. Okay. So for me, I've always said in this channel is that you need to at least wait 1 or 2 years time to do it. I think last time is okay to use until the devices break, but I think the slowing down is one of the biggest things, right? So slowing down does not technically mean that the devices is broken. It's just maybe it cannot keep up to the current apps and stuff like that.
Especially now with AI and stuff, right?
But a very interesting point, which I want to let you know. That day when I was just staring at our shelf, so in the studio we do have like shelf for different brands, and I was staring at the POCO shelf, and I decided to open the legendary POCO F3 to find out whether it can even turn on. It can still turn on, still good. So prepare to see a 5-year review.
It's literally legendary, literally.
It is. Because you know why? We had our mix bag of older phones, like, bloating when you don't use the phone for quite a while. This has never happened with the Xiaomi phones, but it has happened with Samsung phones. It happened with one of the older Redmi phones and stuff, because if you just don't use it, it will eventually. But something about the POCO phones, especially the POCO F3, which if you can find it in the Shopee, is only 1699. Holy God. That is if you find a Shopee brand new.
F3,
Like,
1699.
Yeah.
Is
Because
it
it's still
so
a
high?
very powerful phone.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at the price.
Yeah. So,
You and me both.
yeah. Yeah.
I
So
thought you said 169.
Yeah.
You said 1699.
yeah,
Wow.
no, 169, no way. So we do have 2 comments over here. Nicholas Wong. Usually we have more comments. I think this time, people are panicking, but it's okay. Nicholas Wong says, I just hope somehow AI will need less RAM soon, because
No, it's not
I
gonna
do not
happen.
know how else prices will go down, which is, I totally agree. AI is only getting more and more. We're seeing like crazy. Let's put the cat stuff aside. Like, I'm a huge Naruto and Bleach fan. Oh my God, the amount of like production value that produced from the anime to it's so mind-blowing, right? So I don't think it's going to be slowing down anytime soon. This is Jay says that it's hard to justify paying a premium now, knowing how much cheaper everything was before the RAMageddon hit, which is kind of true as well. So the highest vote is that I'll use my current devices until they break, which is what exactly Adam mentioned from a consumer perspective. But yeah, for me, I always felt like, 1-2 years time is still the minimum, but you can probably stretch to 3 to 4 years. But I wouldn't recommend using it until it breaks, because that's too late already. So yeah, so it breaks, alamak, I need to go get a brand new phone as well,
And
right?
you end up losing everything from the
Yes,
phone.
exactly. So before it breaks, go and get a phone. But yeah, everybody's entitled to their own opinion as well. So that is the overall conclusion that we have for this particular episode. Before that, we want to talk about our video releases. Last week, we released 2 videos from Samsung. We got the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. We put it on a drill. Actually, it was Nicholas's idea, where we tried to test the horizontal lock.
I saw that video.
Oh, thank you for watching, buddy. Appreciate it. So we did that. We tested out that as well. And the privacy display, also very interesting, because we had a huge rumor that, because according to Samsung, it's a very hardware thing. But there's a rumor that Xiaomi might do that in software. I'm sure you cannot say it.
Somebody already did it, right?
Yes. So I think that is something which is very interesting, but check that video out as well. If you're watching this on a Saturday where the video releases, yesterday we we did a video on the iPhone 17 after 7 months. Why it makes sense to buy now, like what Adam said, buy smartphones now. Don't wait for releases because of the price increase. And hopefully this Sunday, the Ultimate Ultra video comparison that all of y'all have been asking for. It was so hard to find a phone, but we finally managed to find it thanks to DirectD. The Vivo X300 Ultra versus the Oppo Find X9 Ultra. So that video is hopefully coming up on Sunday. So yeah, stay tuned and do subscribe to the main channel if you guys haven't done so. if you do have any further questions to ask our friend over here, make sure to ask Adam. Yes, he's also Adam, in case you forgot about that particular part, in the comment section below. And also at the meantime, if you like us to do more sessions like this, calling the brands and drilling the fleur cow, let us know as well, because we would love to know, other than talking about the tech news, because tech news have been very slow for the past several weeks. And sometimes when Vernon and I look at it, it's like, should we really talk about this? So maybe we might try this format moving forward. We might get creators here talking about tech. We've done that with Z, we've done that with Uma and also Smash Pop. So we might get someone like Izwan and anybody as well. So let us know in the comment section below if you like this kind of format. With that, we'd like to say thank you so much for watching episode number 62. My name is Adam Lobo.
My name is Vernon.
And my name is also Adam.
Bye-bye.